Yo. What's good? What's good? It's Stormybman, and I am back. Welcoming you to the post-fight show. Haney versus Lomachenko, broadcast live on ESPN pay-per-view for this Saturday, May 20th, 2023. The fight just wrapped up, and we are here to talk about the card, the main event, and give thoughts and breakdowns on what was seen this evening. I want to say welcome to everybody that's out there. I'm sure there's dozens of people going live right now talking about this. And I do believe that we have somewhat of a controversial ending to this particular fight. For those who were hanging on pins and needles to know what happened, Devin Haney won a unanimous decision, but it was a very close scorecard. Two judges had it by 4 points, I think, and then one judge had it by a couple of points, but Devin still won on all three judges' scorecards. Much to the chagrin of the audience in attendance, the announcers. Some people saw the fight a lot closer. Some people even thought Vasyl Lomachenko pulled out the victory. I will say that my personal scorecard, as I sat here and scored the fight on my own, I had it a draw. 6 rounds apiece. No swing rounds. I actually just thought that the rounds that were won by each man were very decisive, albeit close, but not close enough to swing. I gave Vasyl Lomachenko the first 3 rounds. Then I had given him the 8th, the 10th, and the 11th. Devin did enough, I felt, in the 12th to win that round. But my goodness, it was going to be a close one because those last 3 rounds, 10 through 12, Vasyl came on strong. And I have this thought process about these young fighters of today, man. And I'm going to say this straight up. It's not waffling. It's not going back on anything. It's just that I will refrain going forward of talking too much on potential. From what I saw, Devin Haney could have won this fight very easily, but personally, I think the event got to him. I think Vasyl got to him. I think that once he got in there and the aura of the man whom he was facing presented itself. And he is young. What is Devin now? 24, 25? I don't know his age off the top of my head, the exact. But there is something that is not there that needs to be there in order for him to maintain. Let's put it like this. When Floyd Mayweather Jr. was his age and beating champions like Gennaro Hernandez and so forth, those victories were decisive. Floyd had a manner about himself that he knew he was good. He showed you that he was good. He showed his opponents that he was good. And he just got better and better as time went on. This, I'm not so certain. Now, there's another young fighter out there with potential for that. But again, what did I just say? I'm not going to talk about the potential. And he was in attendance tonight. I think he has a different mentality. But then again, I can't properly assess that until he's presented with something like Devin was presented with tonight. And you never know until those circumstances are presented, because you could say someone swims well. They can do all the strokes. They have perfect form when they dive. But you have no idea until they go into the deep end or are combating rough seas. And Devin was presented definitely with rough seas tonight. Vasyl Lomachenko was amped up. He raised the stake of what he could bring to the ring. And I don't think he could have been better than he was tonight. I think that is who he is, what you saw. But he was definitely in against a younger, bigger, stronger young man. And he put that younger man on retreat, on the back foot, and took rounds from him that should have been moments of he being more definitive. And that's where the lesson needs to come. And I hope that both Bill and Dev could listen to this critique, because it will mean something. I'm not bashing anyone. I'm saluting Vasyl Lomachenko for his performance. I'm saluting Devin Haney for being able to have this fight where he had a chance to go up against a man who had been considered the best in the division. But had he faced Vasyl 3 years ago, he definitely would not have won that fight. But it is good to have lessons like this without taking a loss or suffering a setback, because now you know what the stakes truly are. There have been some who've gotten to the moment like this and they dropped the ball. These men did not drop the ball tonight, but I do believe by the time the final bell rang, Devin Haney had not emptied his tank. And he needed to empty his tank. Whatever he brought tonight, he was supposed to leave it in that ring to certify dominance, separation, and elevation. And that was not done. By no means was it done. Let me go to the chat for a moment and see who we got in the building. Alfred Yashalara is out there. He said he's going to catch the replay. Salute to you, Alfred. 704 Joe is in the building. J. Wayne Citizen is there. He says a win is a win is a win. Okay. Healer, the teacher, my brother's out there. Appreciate you. Mangus Allen is out there. Antonio MMA saying salute, Sensei. Shamar Rashawn Salam says great fight. Salute to the Sensei. But I don't know if Devin fully won this fight. More like a draw. Run it back. Antonio says I had that fight a draw. At most, Devin definitely slowed down. He tried to keep up, but Loma was leading the dance from the 9th round on. 704 reminding everyone to smash the like button. William is out there. What's good? AJ64 in the building. King Corleone says fun fight. Silvestrio, ain't seen you in a minute, says Stormy B salutes and still. Haney, the undisputed champ. King Styles Production is out there saying salute Stormy B man in chat. Watcher, my man, what's good with you, Watcher? How you doing, brother? Good to see you out there this evening. Jay Wayne says pro style versus amateur style. Jay Gibson is out there saying salute to Stormy B man and the fam. Right back at you, bro. Joseph Wiggins, channel member, is out there saying salute, Stormy. Speechless. Good fight though. Yeah, I'm not speechless, but I understand and I feel and I vibe with you, because there was something about this. But you know what? There's another aspect to factor in here, people, and it shouldn't be glossed over. These two men are probably the best in the division, but they are different because one is young and one is more mature and experienced. And because of their skill sets, it provides separation. But even in the number of fights that Devin has had, he gained more knowledge in this fight than 10 of his previous fights. Because he was in there with a man who was very capable. This could have easily gone the other way, the decision, easily. And I wouldn't have been mad because I'm acknowledging how close this fight was. I said I had it a draw, but certain eyes could have seen it another way. And we have seen robberies. This was not necessarily a robbery. just maybe a very unpopular decision. But it is now up to the Haney camp to turn that around. And they're more than capable of doing that if they have the ear to hear. That's important. Accurate is out there. I don't know Accurate, but he says, yes, sir. Salute, Stormy. Salute to you. Todd Swindle saying, Stormy B in chat. Salute. Accurate says, the casuals and Shakur trying to get a fight next. Big Texas, what's going on? He says, yo, what's popping? Antonio says, I said that, Sensei. Andrew Gray says, like Dr. Dre used to say, hell yeah. Todd Swindle agrees about it being a draw. Come on, people, and smash that like button for me. Joseph Wiggins says, facts. 100, it was close. Sylvester says, and still. Antonio says, yup, Dev Corner was lacking. I don't know that they were lacking, Antonio. That would be a little bit inaccurate to say. I don't think they were lacking, but I don't believe they were prepared to do what was necessary, as I stated earlier in my opening remark here. I don't believe that Bill or Devin felt that they would be necessarily in a position for him to tell Devin, go balls out right now. I don't think they were in that kind of mindset. But they better get in that mindset very quickly, because this is the championship level. Everybody is going to fight their best fight against them. And they are currently in possession of all the titles. So even a volunteer title defense, let alone a mandatory, are going to be gunning for their neck. And you got to be ready. Tonight's performance is not acceptable going forward. It is not. I will say it if no one else will say it. This is not acceptable. We expect it, if you respect the sport, Vasil Lomachenko to perform like he did, because he didn't want to be upstaged by this young man. And he performed like it. But lacking? No. I just don't believe the proper focus for the climate, the time was there. When he told his son in the 10th round, you're winning, he went out and lost the very next round. That was insincere. It's a close-ass fight, Devin. We need to make a move. It's time to do what we were saying all week long, what we were going to do. Attack, attack, attack. It didn't happen. TS Boxing, what's good with you, bro? Jared 011 Green. Antonio says, it's his upbringing, Sensei. He doesn't come from where Tank come from or Shakur. And that's probably what it is, that ability to dig deep. No, Antonio. where you come from don't have nothing to do with that, bro. I think it has more to do with what I suggested. But remember, to go from nothing to something quickly, and sometimes success overnight, you can forget fundamentals. You can forget that you skipped some steps. And this is why I speak like I speak. Remember, I've coached people. I'm not looking for an excuse. I'm looking for a solution. I'm looking for a way to elevate, not to vacate. It's very important to understand that, especially with young fighters. You give them what they need to build from the inside out. Don't worry about the exterior being polished. Make sure that the machine and the mechanics that's running within are solid. Devin's a good kid. You're not going to see him on the police blotter and all of that. But if he doesn't take heed to these things that I'm talking about, a loss is just around the corner. Just around the corner. Because you're at the peak, you're at the top. And that's where everybody's trying to get to. Some are going to struggle to get up there, and they'll die trying that effort. Some want to get up there because they're so hungry they will rip everything you got and push you off the top. Some will never even make it there. That's the way society is. Katie Taylor lost earlier tonight trying to win an undisputed title in a higher weight class against a bigger opponent, a bigger woman than she. Someone who could box like she, better, a little stronger, but she gave an effort like Vasil did tonight. She gave that effort in her hometown, in her backyard. And they didn't gift her. Thank goodness. Because the woman who prevailed, Chantel Cameron, was better. I can't say that Devin is clearly better than Vasil. I can't. Based on the potential to be better one day, but not today. And though he got the decision, that doesn't make him better. How many times have you seen someone in boxing get a decision, but they were not better? Right? Jay Wayne says these young guys fight like an old Mayweather. Shakur does it too. One punch at a time, no combinations. Thank you, Jay Wayne Citizen. Where in the hell were combinations from Devin? He threw punches like he had to pay Bob Arum out of pocket for punch volume. Huh? Vasil was letting punches go so much that I was like, man, that was quick. Man, that double left he was shooting straight down the pike, that was nice. And I've talked about this. Running the numbers, we called it. Punching in combination. And combinations don't always have to be 1, 2, 3. I like to see 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because after the first 3 or 4, a fighter falls back into a position of expectation of punches stopping. And that's when you break through and you get them. Listen, man, I'm always going to tell it like it is. The tongue is sharp as a sword. Though it can spew sweet things, a lot of times it curdles the blood. Because bitter can come from. But when you speak with love, that softens it a bit. But an ear to hear and a heart to receive softens it even more. Because real recognize real and truth goes from one space to another. Freely. Did you see Sylvester says Lomachenko will give anybody problems. Reason why Tank didn't take the fight in a hurry. And Tank will never take this fight with Vasily Lomachenko. Did you see how Vasily was handling Devin physically? Tank is much smaller than Devin. Now I'm going to say this. This is why my Tuesday tussle is very important to you guys. I've talked about this and I noticed it from the very first round and it continued throughout the fight. And Bill Haney never said anything to Devin. He doesn't say anything to him in the gym. That's why he repeated it in the ring this evening. Vasil is like an inch, if not 2 inches shorter than Devin. Not much taller as Devin. Not much taller. But why, on God's green earth, from the opening round, was Devin's head dropping beneath Vasil's shoulders? How many times have Stormybman spoke about this? Fighters putting their head beneath the other fighter's shoulders to the degree that he can put his arm around your neck and put your head under his armpit. Bad things happen to fighters who drop their heads beneath the opponent's shoulders. Bad things. Ask Michael Grant. Ask Shannon Briggs. Learn says, I had a 7-5 Loma. The 10th round was hard for me to score. It was a swing round I just gave for Haney. This fight for me could have been 7-5 or 8-4. Loma on my scorecard. Salute to my brother Drew Titan LLC out there. He says 8-4 Devin. Bottom line. Platboy Plays says, what up, y'all? It was a close one. Yeah, it was close, all right. There was some raw butt cheeks walking away from that ring tonight. It was so close. The skin of the pants kind of thing. MP WTF in the building saying, salute, Sensei. What's good with you? Wiggins, Joseph Wiggins says, bro, Bill Haney got a cut on his head by a fan hitting him with a bottle. Hey, man. Marvin Hagler endured far worse. Ain't that America? Did you hear these people cheering for Lomachenko like he was the home guy? Did you hear them tell the audience, remove your hats and stand for the Ukrainian national anthem? They don't tell American audience to remove their hats and stand for the national anthem. Something has happened in this country where what it used to mean ain't what it is anymore. And what it means now don't include nobody here, especially if you're melanated. But when are y'all gonna wake up? When? They don't even consider you American. What is African American? What is that? If you're born here, you're born here. You're American. Everybody else is. But you'll call yourself that in a minute. Plus some other words that have been throughout history derogatory. Some of you have embraced it as terms of endearment. Huh? But you come on here and get mad because somebody referred to you as a simian. Yeah. Learn to feel for the real. Huh? Learn to feel for the real. T-Berry is out there saying, I got to watch this fight again. I missed the early rounds. Anthony Thompson says, these young fighters need to stop comparing their skills to Floyd. It's not a good look. They need to study fight films. They need to study fighters of different eras. They need to stop just looking at Floyd because he didn't create the sport of boxing. But that's just like y'all who like to go through the drive-through, huh? I like to go inside and see who's preparing my food and whether or not I can turn it down before they try to hand it to me, and I might even ask for my money back. I like to sit down and watch boxing. I don't want to watch the highlights because there are things that transpire during the course of a fight that is the true narrative of what you're witnessing. Think about it. Isn't the NBA played now like one big ass 48-minute highlight reel? Where's the technical aspects of the game? Setting screens, passing around to set up offense, playing defense, foot movement, back to the basket, facing the basket, skill positions, huh? Getting up and down the court, laying the ball up, I've seen guys try to jump up and do a dunk and they 8 feet from the basket and got no hang time or no. What the hell is going on? And the coach leaves him on the court. Fast breaks. 3-on-1 and a guy pulls up for a 3-pointer 4 feet behind the 3-point line. Y'all still watching that? Brother Roots says, I feel like Haney won that fight by 2 rounds, but it could have been a draw. If Loma won it, couldn't have been by more than 1. That's why, if you listen to what I had to say and got here earlier, Brother Roots, you may not have had to write that comment. Ravens Nation. Haven't seen that name in a long time. Saying salute, Stormy. Camacho Box Company says Haney went life or death with a 35-year-old junior lightweight. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. But for some reason, he didn't fight with desperation. He didn't fight spirited. He didn't fight to drive home a message. But that wasn't life and death. Because he left the fight not depleted. He left the fight relieved. 2 different things. When you give your all and you've got nothing left, they have to help you out of the ring. I've seen plenty of fights like that. Sugar Ray Leonard against Roberto Duran the first time around. Those men fought that way. Ray Leonard was depleted after that because Duran pressed him. Pressed him to the brink. And if Leonard hadn't had that experience against Duran, he may not have beat Tommy Hearns just a few years later. Experience is the best teacher. James Galbraith is out there. Brother Ruth says, my only thing about Haney is I wish he took it harder to Loma. I was literally begging him to throw at least 1 bomb during the 12th round. Haney needs to throw some more combinations. Well, amen. Huh. Derek Bailey in the house. Noah Randall says, to all the Ukrainians who are upset, my only response is, oh man. Noah Randall, that Ukrainian fighter in there tonight, acquitted himself admirably. Very much. Very much. Yeah, Antonio, that's what I'm talking about. He told Dev, you're winning. And he immediately went out and lost the next round. Brother Root says Haney must improve, integrate some new trainers. Perhaps he's struggling with the weight and carrying enough power. Thing is, by the time he fights Shakur, will he still be able to cope with 135? Listen, man, it's not always about getting new trainers. It's about the guys withstanding getting better with what they do in the gym. There's a thing called going back to the drawing board. You don't always have to go get new people, but you can get better as people. I speak about that on this channel all the time. Elevating instead of negating. If you have piss poor teaching, of course, that would require some changes. Watcher says, I agree, Stormy. What point are you agreeing on, Watcher? Shower Allah's out there. What's good with you, Shower? Good to see you. Antonio was talking about, that's why you said it was a 50-50 fight. Listen, it's easy to say it's a 50-50 fight. But based on what I have assessed of Devin and what he's capable of doing, it's not a 50-50 fight. But he definitely lived down to 50-50 in his performance tonight. Ultimately, I will say it again. Bill ain't driving him hard enough. He may think so. But remember, he's at the top. He's got all the belts. That kid should have left that ring depleted tonight. Like, whew, I ain't got another round in me. And looking at Loma on the floor. But he didn't come close to that. Not close! Loma was trying to get him. But Loma did all he could. Did you see him crying in the dressing room? Did you see him crying? Because he did all he could. He did all he could. Salute to Ravens Nation out there with the super chat. We appreciate you. He says, Sensei, what do you think Devin could have done better toward the later rounds? Attack the hell out of Vasily Lomachenko as if he had done something to his mother. Yeah. That's the only way to kind of equate the type of aggression that I'm speaking of that he needed to mid out. And if he don't feel that way about his mom, maybe if someone had attacked his dad. Go for that type of mentality. Ravenous. Because it's about your titles, bro. They trying to take this away from you. Didn't you say that you worked hard for this? Well, show me, damn it, with your performance. Get your ass in there and act like it. Do you hear the passion of which I'm speaking? And that's just me speaking on it because how I feel about the sport. I'm not sitting back proud that he just got a decision. I wanted him to send a message. The message that was received ain't what was needed. I'm sorry, but maybe you guys like mediocrity. I do not. I strive for perfection. Why the hell do you think I complain when I put my efforts into producing this content and nobody wants to come and hit the like button or review the content or whatever? Because I put my all in what I do. But you all will sit up and watch people talk clickbait shit and bullshit all day long, all night long. Foolishness. I say what I say because I have passion for it. This ain't just somebody talking out their ass. We know how many do that. The stench permeates the airwaves. Emmanuel Joseph Bain, you're welcome. Trick Noty, what's good with you, bro? I see you out there. Ed Watcher, he is a warrior. He really is. Remember, when talent is high, elevated, it takes other talent to really bring it through the forefront where you can see it. That's why so few should be called great in this modern era, because very few test themselves to try to achieve greatness. Salute to Steph Brown in that super chat. We appreciate you, brother. He says, great fight, great stream. Be well as Stormy B, man. God be with you. Thank you, brother, and the same with you, and appreciate your donation to the channel and the stream. Chilltown Majors. Man, it's been a long time. What's up? Mahari Nation Sports Podcast says, great analysis of the fight. Devin Haney should have knocked him out, but Haney showed heart and determination. He showed steadfastness. All fighters show heart by getting in the ring to compete, because you can die in there. But how determined was he to get rid of Vasil? How determined was he to turn Vasil inside out? How much heart would be required for him to take that to another level of separation between he and Vasil? Because remember, he's 10 years younger than the man. Huh? I am not going to let him off the hook like that. I'm not. Because I know he could have done more. Earlier in this stream, one of the brothers wrote in the chat, combinations. Where was Haney's combinations? Absent. Absent. Devoid. No combinations. Vasily was throwing them. That's how he stayed in the fight. See, it's very easy for people to make excuses for themselves. Have you ever just looked at things and said, damn, I need to be better. I got to do better. I got to get better. You see, I can give critique without slamming somebody. Huh? I'm talking about getting better and doing better. I'm asking that of both Bill and Devin because they're at the top. Your time at the top will be short if you do not. It almost happened tonight. See, I'm giving that assessment because some of you are happy with Devin coming away with that decision. I'm not happy with his performance because I know he can do better. I was watching a Kung Fu film, and the teacher was teaching his student how to do the 1-inch punch. Now, for some of you who know about martial arts, Bruce Lee was famous for developing a 1-inch punch in America, but in China, the Shaolin Temple, there was a certain technique that they could teach you to punch with extreme power within a short distance of space. And in the art of Wing Chun, the 1-inch punch, or that particular technique that I'm speaking of, is a part of that particular form of martial arts. The student couldn't get that power off. He was sparring with another student, and Wing Chun allows you to trap or clutch a limb and lock it. Well, that student who was trying to break free of that, he was trying to use that short distance punch, the 1-inch punch, and he couldn't quite get the power on it. And the teacher told him, just continue to try it, and he kept trying to get free. So the teacher took a stick pin and stuck him right in his ass. And all of a sudden, from the jolt of the sticking in the ass, he punched through that guy's trap, found power to get through and release. The spontaneity of that was what the teacher was trying to convey to him. It's in you. You have to find it. I made it come out of you because I did something that you weren't expecting. And that was your reaction. Devin has untapped ability. And it's time to start filling those gaps. It's time to start getting that out. He has that. Listen, there's a reason why multiple people have avoided him. But that's all based on that potential that I talked about earlier in this show. Within the first 15 minutes of me doing this live, I talked about that, about potential, and how I'm not going to afford these guys that type of consideration going forward anymore. None of them. It's got to be on your accomplishments, your merit. But when you have the ability like that, people will give space, right? I don't want to mess with him or whatever, right? But do you know how many people want to line up for Devin after his performance tonight? Because they think they see something, huh? Remember Mikey Garcia talking about Earl Spence? I see something. Yeah. They're going to line up for him. You know, when I talk about these fights, and because I spent so much time talking about the main event, I will have to talk about the other matches with maybe video content. I may talk about some of it on my call-in show tomorrow. But I just want to talk about this knockout that occurred earlier in the evening real quick between Andrew Maloney and Junto Nakatani. A 12th round KO that saw Maloney go down in the 2nd and 11th rounds. When Maloney's trainer was in the 11th, after the 11th round, he was thinking about stopping the fight. And he was telling Maloney, I'm going to stop it. You're not looking good or whatever. And Maloney was like, no. You know, he talked his trainer into letting him go to the 12th. And unfortunately, in a tragic series of events, he got hit with a left hand by Nakatani that knocked him into outer space. A one-punch KO in the 12th round. Maloney laid there unconscious, with ring officials stooped over him. Stitch Duran, who was his cut man, tried to come over there, and one of those officials who be wearing those rubber gloves, those blue rubber gloves, he waved his hand at Stitch as if to say, hold on. But they all just kneeled over Maloney, who's clearly unconscious. Nobody's offering assistance. Nobody is looking to even remove his mouthpiece out of his mouth so he could get air. I hated seeing this. I was screaming and yelling at my television. I'm like, what the hell are these people doing? You know what? It was a horrible thing. Thank goodness that Maloney appears to be that he's going to be okay. But that could have been a very tragic situation. And no one did much to help the young man. They basically let him snore until they woke him up and set him on a stool. They didn't offer any oxygen. They didn't take him out on a stretcher so he wouldn't have to walk under his own power or anything like that. I just don't like it. And the sport of boxing is so bad in so many ways that even when you get a chance to see a thrilling knockout, these stupid bastards come out here and they behave like this, where somebody's life is literally on the line. It makes my stomach queasy to see these idiots, imbeciles, in suits and ties, wearing these stupid ass blue rubber gloves, plastic gloves, but they ain't offering a damn shred of assistance. But they're all around the ring. See, if I'm nothing, I'm very consistent when I talk about these things, man. I'm just done, man, with boxing. Can't get around this foolishness, man. I don't know if many of you paid attention to that, but it's very important. Fighters are human beings. They're not video game characters. I don't want to see fighters lose their lives, especially from neglect. But look here, it's getting late. I want to thank everybody that came out for this. I want to talk about this. I'm gonna make some videos this week and talk about it further. And the undercard fights I will as well. But it's getting late. I don't want to keep people up too much longer. I appreciate everybody that hung out here with me this evening. But it was a very good fight. Highly competitive. Salute to both fighters and thank them for entertaining us with their abilities. But I'm going to get on out of here. I want to say shout out to the mighty LDBC and thank you all for the super chats that came through this evening. The new people who wrote in the chat. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. You guys stay safe out there. Peace.
Get ready to take your striking game to the next level with the Focus Ball. Dramatically improved footwork, timing, head movement, hand-eye coordination, reflex, and overall fight IQ. It's lightweight and extremely portable, so you can train every time, everywhere. When you don't have a coach to do mitt work, get a Focus Ball. When you don't have a heavy bag to hit, get a Focus Ball. When you don't have a sparring partner, get yourself a Focus Ball. And when you just want to have fun punching and kicking, get a Focus Ball. When you train with the Focus Ball, you train your eyes and your brain to read punches so that you can hit and not get hit, making this very simple device a must-have for all combat sports athletes and enthusiasts alike. So if you want to take your striking game to the next level, don't wait. Get the focus ball now.